Hey everyone, and welcome back to Turner Mobile Detailing. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to care for matte paint and matte wrap finishes. Let's get started. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be taking care of this Mercedes C350 coupe that you see behind me. It was originally red, but then the owner had it wrapped in a matte gray wrapping. As you can see here from inside the door jambs and the edge of the door, that the original color was a nice bright red, but the owner preferred a matte finish. So he had it wrapped in this really nice matte finish gray vinyl wrapping. The vehicle is garage kept. It's really not all that dirty. As we take a look around the car, we see some remnants of bird poop, a little bit of road grime on the side panels, just general overall light dirt from driving and wear and tear. So we're going to take care of the washing process with just some basic Chemical Guys citrus washing gloss, and I added a little simple green in with the mixture just to give it a little bit more punch. And then after the detail is done, I'm going to finish it off with Dr. Beasley's Matte Final Finish. Now, washing and detailing a matte finish car, whether it's matte paint from the factory or aftermarket paint, or whether it's a vinyl wrapping like this car, is very similar to taking care of a regular gloss finish car. The biggest differences are you have to be a little bit more careful in scratching or marring or swirling the paint or the vinyl wrapping while you're washing it. Although vinyl wrapping, especially if it's the high-end stuff, the self-healing stuff, is a little bit more forgiving when it comes to swirling and scratching. But the reason you have to be a little bit more careful is because that swirling or scratching, say in a matte finish paint, cannot be removed the same way they can be removed out of gloss finish paint. The main reason being is that you cannot polish either with the machine or by hand matte finish paint, because that polishing process will turn it glossy. You'll have a nice matte finish entire vehicle, and then you'll have one or two or maybe splotches around the whole vehicle of glossy spots, and that's the last thing you want, especially when you bought the car because it was matte finish or you had it wrapped to achieve that matte finish. You don't want to go ahead and start glossing it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our washing process underway. I've already gone ahead and cleaned the wheels and rinsed down the vehicle one time, so we're ready to foam it up and start our hand wash. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're choosing a shampoo to wash down a matte finish car is to choose one that does not contain any waxes or sealants in it. Again, the reason being is the same reason why you don't want to polish a matte finish car, is because you don't want to add any gloss to it. The natural finish of the matte film or matte paint is what you want to have left when you're done. Now, one thing's for certain is that the car care industry is full of redundancies and products that you just do not need. For instance, there's products that are labeled matte finish car shampoo or car wash, and you're going to pay a premium for those products, but really all that means is that they don't contain any waxes or sealants. So I don't recommend you fall for that marketing scheme. Just pick a good car wash or car shampoo like Car Pro Reset. Gion Bathe is another good one. Again, another Chemical Guys product. Mr. Pink does not contain any waxes or sealants. So again, be aware for these marketing ploys by the car care industry. Now, that all being said, most wax infused or sealant infused shampoos have such a small amount, even if you did use one, you probably wouldn't really see a difference. Although the minimal amount of wax or sealant that was left behind on the finish might inhibit whatever sealant or quick detailer for matte finishes you use to finish off the vehicle. So again, it's best to stay safe and not use any shampoos with any waxes or sealants in them. Again, today I'm using citrus washing gloss, which does not have any waxes or sealants in it. Chemical Guys actually says at a higher dilution ratio, it will strip waxes or sealants. And I even added a little all-purpose cleaner, simple green, again to give it just a little bit more punch. So I'm definitely not leaving any waxes or sealants behind on the panel after my washing process. One thing to keep in mind about working on matte finish paint or vinyl wrap is that water spotting has much different behavior, especially while working in the sun as we are today. The paintwork, the vinyl wrap, is much more prone to water spotting, or as I like to call it, soap spotting. Now, just like with standard gloss paint, you want to be aware of not leaving the water or the soap on the panel too long so it doesn't cause water or soap spots. And the water and soap spots can etch the paint or the vinyl wrap just like it can on gloss paint. But the good thing is that just in case you miss any spots, which you should be meticulous as to not miss any, but just in case you do, any soap or water spots left behind won't be as noticeable on a matte finish as they would be on a gloss finish vehicle. So again, the matte finish is much more forgiving, even when it comes to water or soap spots. Okay, so now that we've got the vehicle completely washed down initially, off camera I went ahead and dried the vehicle down. Now our next step is to use an iron remover. We are working in the sun today. You can use iron remover in the sun, even though the label says not to. You just can't let it dwell very long. So you might wonder, is it even worth using if you can't let it dwell? Well, the answer is yes, because it still removes something. And that something is something that you don't have to remove later on with your clay or clay mitt. Now, during the washing process, the panels did not feel rough at all, so I really don't think there's much on the panels that needs to be removed by the iron remover, so we don't really need to let it dwell that long anyway. And I'm going to use it sparingly just on the lower areas of the vehicle, on the hood and the rear trunk deck. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and clay the entire vehicle using a fine grade clay mitt. Now you may be thinking to yourself, is it safe to clay my matte vehicle? Well, the answer is yes. However, I do recommend using no more than a fine grade clay with light pressure. Using anything more aggressive may leave noticeable marring left over on the surface. And remember, that cannot be removed by polishing. But stick with a fine grade clay and light pressure and you should be just fine. Okay, so the whole vehicle has been clayed and final rinsed. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do a final wipe down, a dry off of the vehicle using a twisted loop drying towel and an IPA solution as a drying aid. Okay, so our washing and preparation phases are totally complete. The whole vehicle is wiped down and prepped. Now it's completely dry and ready for a sealant or a wax or some kind of detail spray. In this case, again, like I said at the outset, we're going to be using Dr. Beasley's Matte Final Finish. Now this product is a detail spray. It's not a wax or sealant. It's just a detail spray with minimum longevity. It's not going to last all that long. Your average detail spray lasts about a month or so. So that's what this stuff is going to give you. But it is going to protect the matte paint and it is safe for vinyl wrapping like this car is. And again, it's designed for matte finishes because it has no glossing agents in it. So let's get the C350 coupe wrapped up. Just like any detail spray, Dr. Beasley's Matte Final Finish is extremely easy to use. Just a few light spritzes per panel, maybe a spritz on your microfiber towel. Distribute the product evenly on the surface and immediately buff off with the dry side of your towel. You should really only need one towel for an average sized vehicle. If you're changing sides to buff or need a new towel because your buffing side has gotten too saturated, you're using too much product. Dr. Beasley's leaves the matte finish with just a touch more luster and depth, but still very much matte. Certainly, Dr. Beasley's is not the only finishing product made for matte finishes. Geon also makes one. It's called Cure Matte, and Chemical Guys even makes one called Meticulous Matte. Meguiar's even says that their Ultimate and Gold Class Quick Waxes, even their synthetic Express Spray Wax, can all be used on a matte finish and won't alter the appearance of said matte finish, and most importantly, won't leave any splotchiness behind. Of course, I'll leave links to all these products below so you can check them out for yourself. Okay, so we are totally done. As you can tell from our after footage, this matte wrapped C350 came out really nice. I've already gone ahead and dressed the tires with Carpro Pearl, and I even knocked down the finish a little bit to match the matte sheen of the vinyl wrapping. So I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, especially if you're a detailer and you're just starting out working on car finishes like these, or if you own a vehicle like this and you're learning more about how to take care of the matte finish. If you did find value in this video, please don't hesitate to give us a like right down below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. That way you won't miss any future auto detailing content just like this. As always, I'm Seth with Turner Mobile Detailing, and we'll see you in the next video.